Guys, can you hear me now?
Oh boy.
Wouldn't that just be awesome if we just had a whole conversation with absolutely no?
We need to run that technical difficulty.
Oh no! Again. Please tell me if you can hear me. You should be able to hear me now.
I hope so.
I think I know what happened. I think we just hit a wrong button there. Should be fine now.
Oops.
If anybody who's watching right now, if you can just chime into the comments, let us know if you can hear us. We'll just pretend. Let's just run the whole intro right over again and do it all. Come right back here in 2 seconds. That's what I say. That's what I say. We just ruin our own show.
Yep. If it's not one thing, it's another.
All right. You know what? I'm going to try that again because I feel like we just did you guys a misservice. Be right back. Out of hell with that. Round 2 talk.
There we go.
Wow, it's great when you have folks following in the live chat. Thank you guys for pointing that out. Nothing like having a Tuesday on a Tuesday.
Yep.
It's kind of like a Monday. What were we talking about? Oh, yeah.
You went to the movies.
Sorry, yes. I went to the movies this past weekend. Got to see Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. If you have seen any of the Dungeons and Dragons feature films that have come before this, then this movie actually exceeds everything with the D&D name on it up till now. I would say this is the best of the best of D&D so far.
Excellent.
Yeah, I very much enjoyed it. Sorry, how was your
my weekend was all right. I did go and I watched the grave premiere of Jurassic World
because
Dominion.
Jurassic World is now streaming in Canada.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And it was all right, but like I was saying when we couldn't be heard, I really do wish I had watched the TV series beforehand because there's a fairly large plot point in there.
Right. And so you want to walk us through that? We're going to talk about that for the first time, like it never happened. Yeah. So tell me about this. What happened?
So you know that the CEO is Dodson. In this one.
Yes, yeah.
And it is the same character from the very first movie.
That's right.
He's worked his way from scientist up to CEO.
Up to CEO.
But during the TV show, he goes back to Isla Nublar and they end up finding the Barbasol can that Nedry lost.
Interesting.
And he picks it up and he makes a point of saying, well, I could have used that 25 years ago.
Yeah, because when it shows up in the film.
Yeah, it's just on the his little display case all caked in mud.
Yeah, like, and you just he just somehow got it.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, what did I miss here? When did he get that?
How did that happen? Yeah. Guys, you saw D&D as well. Thank you very much. That was an excellent film. Eric, thanks for tuning in tonight. Looking forward to the long weekend triple feature for me. D&D, Super Mario Brothers, and John Wick. Man, I don't know. We were Kim and I were tied up between going to see D&D or going to see John Wick, and you know what it boiled down to? Because the theater, the local Cineplex, it's a Galaxy Cinema. Mm-hmm. It's a smaller theater. They only have one auditorium that is in AVX and Atmos audio. And the decision was whatever is in the AVX theater is what we're going to see.
Can't go wrong with AVX.
And so then it turned out to be D&D. So that's why we went to see it. But yes, super fun. If you are a fan of 1980s Dungeons and Dragons animation, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, you're in for a real treat. More so than any of the marketing materials let on. It's quite interesting to see the thing. The things
from cartoon to live action.
Well, the cartoon doesn't necessarily relate to the film as much as certain elements of the cartoon, not giving anything away if you haven't seen any of the marketing material that show up in the film, much more than I actually anticipated. So that was kind of neat.
Nice.
And as much as it's branded as a Dungeons and Dragons movie, fans of the RPG, let's not mince words here. It's a Forgotten Realms movie through and through. So that's super, super cool. Nice. That they leaned into the lore of the Forgotten Realms. Lots of name drops, so you'll feel like you're in the right place when you're watching this movie, when you're like, oh, I know all that stuff. Which leaves me with a lot of hope that a future installment, whether it's franchise, a sequel maybe? Or absolutely, Hasbro's been wanting to do franchise stuff for a while now. This could be, I mean, it was the #1 movie in Canada over the weekend, so that's we're off to a good start. Would love to see more of the Forgotten Realms lore, some of the big named characters. We get Elminster gets a name drop, although we don't see him. They go to the Underdark, which I thought was a little bit of a missed opportunity, that we didn't have even a nod to maybe one of the most popular fantasy characters in literary history in Drizzt Do'Urden. But man, there is, Eric, there you go. Drizzt movie when? I'm so down for that. He's already got an action figure that I regret not buying last year or the year before. But yeah, displays for beasts are awesome, by the way, on screen. So
excellent.
And I'm talking Greek to you right now, aren't I?
A little bit.
I'm sorry. Sorry. Guys, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Before we go any further, do remember I say it every week, and there's always some kind of hitch.
We're going to try it anyway.
We are a call-in show. We want to know what caught your attention this week. You can hit us up in the live chat on the platform that you are watching on, or you can use the embedded WhatsApp link and you can give us a call and be on the show.
It'll probably work.
If it doesn't, I'll be sitting here holding my phone to the microphone again, but hey, because not like that didn't work.
That worked too.
It did work.
Before
we get going any further, Random Fandom Tuesday wouldn't be the same without a random trivia question.
Yeah, this one's pretty random.
Sure.
What was the name of Oasis's debut album released in 1994?
Oh, I think I know this, but I'm gonna wait. Let's wait here
and see if anybody in the comments.
Sure. Let's wait. I think don't we have a? I saw a thing in here. We got a transparent counter.
Well, we got a 30-second countdown.
No, that's the. We don't want to use that one. We want to use the. Was in video clips. Did I get rid of it?
Maybe.
Oh, I feel like an idiot.
We got a 30. We got a 25. Or we could just sit here and count down. I don't know, 10.
I thought we had a thing in the corner where it was a little transparency. I thought you'd made it. I might have gotten rid of it. I'm sorry. Let's one more time. Let's have the question one more time.
What was the name of Oasis's debut album released in 1994?
1994 debut album from Oasis. These are the guys. My wife Kim, there she is. In excess ? Laughy face, laugh emoji. You know the secret. I'll talk about that in a second because that's a good story. Anybody else for any more?
Takers going once, going twice.
Can I try this? I have no knowledge. I have not seen the card. Is it What's the Story? Morning Glory.
It is not.
What?
It is not.
Okay, what is it?
Definitely maybe.
Okay. So there's this notorious, perhaps infamous, if you're not aware of this, feud between Oasis and In Excess.
Is it still going after Oasis was feuding with themselves?
That's ongoing. So it all stems, I can't tell you where it all stems from, but there is a thing where In Excess were supposed to get a Grammy Award. And the Gallaghers, one of them was supposed to present it, maybe both of them, and they refused to. They were like, "We are not going to present this award."
Really?
Yeah, they refused to present this award. So, In Excess, being the band that they were, got a little bit of payback in a song. Not only did they put it in a song, it just happens to be a huge hit song for In Excess. Are you familiar with the song "Elegantly Wasted"?
Yes, I am.
So, in the chorus of "Elegantly Wasted," one guys, didn't they have a feud with everyone? Probably. Yeah, more or less. I swear to God, these guys, if they're not feuding with each other as brothers, they just stand in the mirror and just punch themselves. But yeah, In Excess, whether it was one of the brothers or whether it was Michael Hutchence, snuck into the lyrics while they're singing, and it's a big harmony piece, right? Elegantly Wasted. Some of the members of the band are actually singing better than Oasis.
Really?
And when you know it's there and you go and you listen to it, you can't not hear it.
And once you hear it, you can't unhear it.
So it's like half of them are singing Elegantly Wasted and the other half are like better than Oasis. And like I said, as soon as you know that it's there, you can't unhear it. And it's hilarious. So highly recommend. Go and give Elegantly Wasted another listen to if you haven't listened to it in a while. And just keep that in mind because it's hilarious.
It's on my playlist. So
what's happening in entertainment news this week, my man?
We got some stuff going on.
What do you want to go to first?
From Eric.
I do. What, Eric? What are you saying?
He's saying that we are having more technical difficulties.
WhatsApp is borked. It can't be. But you know what?
Wouldn't shock me.
Eric, you tried to call in. We'll do what we did last week. I will call you, and that should square that away. So let me just see if I can do this here. First of all, are you okay with me calling you directly?
Well, if he's trying to call us, I would hope so.
Let's try that. Let's see what happens.
All right.
It's not coming through. What is going on?
That darn technology, I tells you.
I don't like this at all. It's not coming through. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I know, but it's not connecting to the the call did go through. It's just not connecting to the mixer. So guess what? welcome to the show, Eric Swenson.
Hey. Good to be here.
What's going on in your neck of the woods tonight?
Pretty much not much.
Not much.
Give me like 2 seconds. I'm getting double feedback off of the speakers.
Oh.
Feedback's no good.
No, that's no good.
Just mute my computer.
There you go.
There we go.
It's like being on the radio when they tell you on the radio, turn your radio down. Turn your radio down.
You never do.
Yeah, no, not much for me. I'm relaxing at home, looking forward to a long weekend. Gonna see a couple of movies and
hang out.
Not a lot planned.
There he is.
I wanted to ask you.
Ask
you
away.
Get back to me on Facebook.
Ask away. What's the
Did
question?
you see the Blue Beetle trailer?
Did I see
Yes.
okay, so you sent me the Blue Beetle trailer and I did not watch it right away. I was doing some other stuff yesterday that I was like, "Oh, I'm saving this until later." And then when I did watch it, I was like, I need to see this.
Yeah. It looks like a lot of fun.
It looks great, and both the Ted Cord and the previous the original Blue Beetle costumes make a cameo in that. That has me pretty excited.
Yeah,
I'm not a huge Blue Beetle fan, but I am aware of who Jaime Reyes is as a new 52 guy. I'm well aware of who he is. I like that character, and I do like the actor Xolo. I can't think of his last name. The kid from Cobra Kai. I think he's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miguel. Right.
Kimberly says Blue Beetle looks great.
Blue Beetle does look great. Yeah. So yes, I did see it.
I can't wait. I watched that and I thought that was the most live action anime thing I'd ever seen.
Oh, really?
It did look pretty
just
good.
like transforming the suit and the Buster Blade and
yes,
can't wait for it.
The Buster Sword. Yeah, I did like that. But that's part of the Blue Beetle's repertoire, that it can basically create weapons and other stuff out of the suit, out of the scarab, I guess it was. Yeah. Now, correct me if I'm wrong.
Biotech is something that that hasn't really been ventured into, so it's sort of treading new ground.
Yeah, I think so. For definitely within the superhero film genre. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well,
The scarab is alien tech.
Yes,
It's not human made. It's not earthbound tech.
No.
Right.
Now something similar though would be
That looks really good.
I think so too.
the Iron Man suit from Endgame.
Oh, like the Extremis suit.
Yeah. Or no, what was it?
The nano suit.
Yeah.
Isn't that?
The nano
Oh, sorry.
suit.
Yeah,
It
the
could,
Extremis thing was.
Form. small
That's
constructs
right.
and
No,
whatnot,
you're
too.
right. You're right. Absolutely, because he did the big
he-
arm blades and stuff,
And then it got broken off and stabbed
and
into
run
him.
right through him.
So maybe a bad choice there.
Oh boy. Oh
Oh.
boy.
Kimberly says we should do a random fandom crank call segment.
Random Fandom Crank Calls, new segment. All right. So you know who I'm calling next, honey. That's funny. Gaz, yes, it is alien tech. Okay, good to know.
Excellent.
Well, man, are you, Eric, where you are in the world, are you under a freezing rain advisory? Just out of curiosity.
We got some light rains, but I don't see an advisory on my phone right now.
I found it completely bizarre that I woke up this morning to a freezing rain advisory, and we had a high today of 11 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess
high
that's for
15
later.
down here.
I guess that's for later today. Okay, fair enough. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about?
Not specifically. I have a couple of things to pitch at you, because I am working on that Warhammer script.
Excellent. Okay, well, I look forward to hearing that.
That's for later.
Okay, I look forward to hearing that when you're ready to pitch it.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Thank you for the call. Or rather, I guess thanks for answering my call, because our tech continues to crap the bed.
Growing pains are a thing.
One day, you know what? It's the problem. If I had stuck to my old phone, which still had a headphone jack, I would have had a wired connection to the board, and we wouldn't have this problem. So I think that's actually the ultimate solution. Is I'm just going to end up getting an adapter from USB-C to TRRS.
Well, the real problem there is they stopped making phones with headphone jacks.
Yeah.
Taking away all that old
the
technology.
dinosaurs like me just don't know this newfangled tech stuff. Anyway, okay, enough about that. Thanks, man, for calling in. Thanks for being on the show. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, no worries.
All right, man.
Take
Cheers
it
for now.
easy.
Bye. All right, so once again, our tech continues to elude us. However, if you would like us to, I guess it's a call you show now.
Yeah,
It's a we call you show. Apparently that works. Man, that just burns me every time. I wonder if we tried. I wonder if it's if I turn the phone off with the desktop app kicking. We tried that before and it didn't work either. Yeah, we're not going to do that. This is not the time for that.
Yeah.
All right, where are we at now?
I got some stuff here. I did not realize it was this past weekend, but
neither did I.
It was. This past weekend was Wrestlemania 39.
Wrestlemania. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I went to my first wrestling event earlier this year since the 1990s. Nice. When I went to the Rumble, and everything that I was told at the watch party for the Rumble was that it would set the tone for Mania. So was it Cody Rhodes for the title?
It was Cody Rhodes.
Of course it was. All right.
Yeah, they've been developing that story, I guess, since last WrestleMania.
Okay, yeah.
And yeah. So I don't know why they're doing it now, just for shits and giggles, I guess. But they're running over 2 days now. It used to be, it used to just be like a 1-day thing, but
who can afford tickets for a 2-day top tier wrestling event?
Well, it's technically a 3-day because they do the Hall of Fame on Friday night.
That's open to the public too, isn't it?
I don't know I kind of doubt it, but
if they hold it like the Academy Awards, there's a certain number of seats that are sort of
made available.
Yeah, exactly. And you buy tickets to it and you go. Wrestling fans out there, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Is this open to the public? I think it is.
I know the 2 Saturday and Sunday are not. You got to purchase your tickets like way in advance.
Okay. For the 2-day actual
Mania. Yeah.
Do we know ticket prices?
I do not know.
I'd be afraid to know. Let me talk about. No, I'll do it after. I got a story about ticket prices here from. Oh my god,
that was scary.
Yeah. They were authorized resale tickets through Ticketmaster,
which is weird.
Yeah, I did not like that.
But
tell me about the Mania. What's going on?
Well, we got some results from night 1.
Okay, what do we got?
Austin Theory defeated John Cena for the United States title to retain, I should say.
To retain. So was this an expected outcome?
I think it was like bring Cena out of retirement to bump up the celebrity factor.
So he's your superstar, like I guess they're all was
for a good long time. Yeah,
sure. He's your legend though, or was that what they call them now? Legends?
Maybe, but
yeah.
We got one from Gaz here.
4 days.
Well, yeah, 4
Raw,
days.
Monday Night Raw. Right.
The night after.
Yeah.
And TJC is joining us.
TJC, good evening. Welcome to the show. Thanks for hanging out. We're talking WrestleMania.
This next match, I'm sad to say I only know one name in it, but it was a fatal 4-way tag team match.
Oh, okay.
And,
yeah.
Braun Strowman and Ricochet versus the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy versus the Viking Raiders.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And the Street Profits won.
You've lost me.
idea
I'm
who they are.
Completely lost on any of that.
And then we had Seth Rollins defeating Logan Paul.
Okay. As much as I don't like either of these brothers, I find them to be despicable human beings, lower than the slime on my boot. I will say this. At the Royal Rumble, I have never seen anything like I saw when Logan Paul went off the top rope in his match. It was incredible.
You should tune into AEW.
That guy, as much as it pains me to say this, he's got some skills.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Even if he is a shitbag human being.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the next match on night 1, we had Becky Lynch, Trish Stratus, and Lita going against Damage Control.
Wait. Sorry, can you say that again? Who?
Becky Lynch.
Okay, yeah, current.
Trish Stratus.
What?
Yeah, she came back for it. And Lita.
Where'd they dig them out of?
Well, Trish has been in Toronto doing her yoga thing.
Yoga with Trish.
Yeah, you go to Stratisfaction Yoga.
I'm sorry, that's for real?
It is for real.
Stratisfaction Yoga. That's amazing.
People demand Stratisfaction.
I can't get no Stratisfaction
unless you go to Toronto. But anyway, Becky Lynch and Trish and Lita, they won.
Okay,
so that was great.
Didn't Lita just make a convention appearance recently?
Actually, both Trish and Lita, I think, are signed up for Niagara.
They are. Okay, that's where I saw them. That's right. You won't get within a mile of those tables.
Yeah. Eric says, I will be stratisfied.
I will be stratisfied.
Next up, we had Rey Mysterio against his son Dominic, and Rey won. So
Rey.
Yeah. Then they had the SmackDown Women's Championship. Rhea Ripley defeated Charlotte Flair.
Okay.
So again, I only know Charlotte Flair out of that particular mix, but
honestly, I really don't know. It was funny me sitting there watching the Rumble because I had to come up with like names for these people on the spot based on what they were wearing. And it was like, I made an off the cuff remark about like maybe street walking people, ladies of the night. And the guys that I was watching the show with, they're like, oh, that's probably not a good choice because there's a bunch of those. And I'm like, oh, okay. I guess I'll have to come up with a new name for this woman so I could remember who they were.
Fair enough.
If we didn't have a pool going, it wouldn't have mattered, but there was money riding on it. So I needed to remember
you got to do what you got to do.
I had to know who I was betting on.
And then for the first time since WrestleMania 1.
WrestleMania 1. Yep. Okay.
Tag team match was the main event for night 1.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. It was for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships, and it featured the Usos defending against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Yeah, again,
these ones I actually do know.
You do? Okay.
All right. But Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens came out on top.
Yeah.
It left the whole crowd on like a great high. It was a good match.
Yeah.
You know, the way you want to come off of a pay-per-view event, right?
Right.
And we got one from Eric.
We got another one for it's been a hot minute since my wrestling fan days. I think I pulled out when Stone Cold retired. Didn't they just wheel him out in the last year? Or last 2 years?
He's still around. He's got another show right now. It's Stone Cold versus America or something. And I guess he just goes town to town and takes challenges.
Like on the indie circuit?
No, just like, you know, I'm going to go challenge you to a bake-off, or I'm going to go challenge this guy to a street race.
Oh, okay. So it's not like I'm just going to go set up a ring and
challenge random Joes for whatever. No.
I'm thinking that's like back in the territory days, showing up and pulling people out of the crowd. Do anybody want to fight Stone Cold?
Go for the knees.
Yeah, Stratisfaction Yoga with Trish?
Yeah.
Sign me up. Yeah.
And that's the only catch. I don't know if she's actually teaching the class or if she's got
it's just her name and she's hired a bunch of instructors now.
I believe at the beginning it was her doing it.
I think if you're going to put your name on something, you have to have, I mean, you could be the face of something like George Foreman is the face of the grill, but I don't know when you're talking about a lifestyle brand where you kind of have to have maybe a little more skin in the game, I guess.
Yeah. And she was there, like she took a leave from wrestling to, you know, go do motherhood and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
And now she's about rounding back where she's in a position.
Do we know roughly? And I mean, it's not important really, but do we know how old she is roughly?
I do not know for sure.
40s, 50s,
probably mid 40s.
Mid 40s. Okay. So like our age then.
Yeah. Somewhere in there.
Okay. Good to know.
Oh yeah. Night 2, I guess it kicked off with Brock Lesnar versus Omos. And I have no idea who this fellow is.
Who?
Yeah.
Omos.
But
is that like saying almost?
Maybe, but I guess he didn't almost win.
He did not.
Lesnar won that one.
Right. Well, yeah.
Then they did a women's WrestleMania showcase.
All right.
Which featured a bunch of tag teams. So we had, let's see here, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Shotzi and Natalya versus Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville.
Right.
Versus Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey. And it would be that last team that took the win.
Interesting.
So Ronda Rousey.
Interesting that I thought she had pretty much sort of went quiet in the WWE.
I don't think so. I think she's still hanging around there. But.
That's one thing I will say. Like as 40 somethings, as somebody who's closer to 50 than I am to 40, I go back to like the height of my wrestling days, which is the rock and wrestling era, obviously.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant.
Absolutely. Like if you saw a single ladies match,
it would have been
that's a big deal. Most of the time,
Wendy Richter versus Sherry Martel
or Moolah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like we just didn't see the ladies wrestling just wasn't televised the way.
And then during the Attitude Era, it just went. You know, Vince was
you
know his personal smut lodge.
Well,
Brian panties matches and
right
paddle on a pole match.
So I mean, at least it's come a lot further.
It has come a lot.
Yeah.
Like I just watched the WWE Rivals there last weekend.
Okay, yeah,
and it was on Trish versus Lita.
Yep.
And it showcased just how far they kind of brought it past all that attitude crap. and like legitimized it.
Well, I
for
mean,
the next generation coming up.
When you mentioned Trish Stratus, I still don't think of her as as talent. I think of her as one of the divas just walking around TNA, and that's it.
Well, that's what they started her as.
Well, that's what I mean.
Like
and so that's kind
she was
of
the valet for Test and Albert, so
Okay.
they called the team TNA, which she was in the middle of.
Of course,
But
right? I mean,
credit where credit is due. Trish Stratus has probably had one of the best hardcore women's matches I've ever seen.
Oh, is that
with
right?
Victoria?
Oh, okay.
Like they gave as good as you would see Mick Foley go.
Are we talking like blood and everything?
Blood, guts,
Oh,
tables,
man.
ladders, chairs, trash cans.
Well, good for them. I mean, hats off to anybody who wants to make it as a pro wrestler, because we all know now that the amount of
punishment,
yes, and the amount of work that goes into just preparing, to be able to take a bump like that. It's not. Anybody who's done any combat sports knows that, pro wrestling,
you can land wrong real easy.
Absolutely. The outcomes might be predetermined, but the getting there.
Then they did a triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship.
Sure.
Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus versus Gunther.
Sheamus.
I know the first two. I actually saw Sheamus when he was in Peterborough here.
Oh, really?
A few years back.
Was that an independent?
No, it was WWE.
Oh, it was WWE. Okay.
Yeah, he fought Randy Orton.
House show.
Yeah. But anyway, Gunther wins, whoever he was.
Gunther. Oh, I think he was at the Rumble.
Maybe. And then we had the Raw Women's Championship with Bianca Belair defending against Asuka.
Okay.
And Bianca retains.
All right.
And there's a side thing here. I guess with Bianca's entrance, they had a bunch of little girls that had, I guess, got called up or whatever to like dance alongside her.
Oh, really?
But they revealed afterwards that one of the little girls, her mom, had died that day.
No way.
And they're like, here's like probably worst day of your life, kid, but we're still gonna give you this too.
Oh, man. So then you got to wonder though, like, did they go out at that point? Like, who's pushing that? Is that kid going out there willfully at that point?
I think so.
You really want to hope so. There's nothing more. It's like those pageant moms, right? Like these kids aren't doing pageants at 5 years old because they necessarily want to.
No.
So I see that and hear that kind of stuff, and I automatically go, oh, there's a bit of cringe factor with that.
Yeah. That one was up next year.
Oh, wait.
So before we get to that one, there was an impromptu match of The Miz versus Snoop Dogg.
I keep forgetting that
he's been over there a few times. He's been actually in both
floating WWE in and out. Yeah.
So he's just kind of practicing here and there, but he actually won with the people's
elbow. Like, he's got some height there.
He did. He got some good height on the
He's going in like he's committed.
And then following that little interaction, they had the Hell in a Cell match of Edge versus Finn Balor. So Toronto's own Edge.
I mean, I look at that photo and I mean,
they look pretty similar.
Is he not looking well?
Edge?
Yeah.
Edge is old. Edge has been in it for like,
well, that's true. That's
close to 30 years at least.
Okay, so it's not
just not just like, standard matches, but matches that'll screw your neck up. Like he did break his neck at one point.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But
that's right. Well,
Edge came out on top. So
okay, that's cool.
And I actually did get to watch this match in its entirety. And it wasn't a terrible match.
No.
But the camera work reminded me of why I stopped watching WWE.
Why?
Anytime there's a hit, it will like extreme zoom and extreme cut back.
Oh.
So it's like the impact gets zoomed in on and then they pull it back instantly. But it is so annoying once you pick up on it.
Do you start kind of like
yeah, it's like it's not going to make it hit harder.
No.
But then they finished the night there with the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. And apparently it was a good match, a lot of near falls, but at the end of the night, Roman Reigns retained.
It
left the crowd just being like, what? Like you do a year-long build-up and no payoff?
So, I mean, what's traditionally in the year, what is the next big pay-per-view? Do you know?
I think the next one is in May. I think it's Backlash.
So do they ever do would that be where potentially a rematch could occur?
It could, but since he lost, I guess technically he would be stepping down for whoever's next in line.
What little bit I saw in the pre-show leading up to the Rumble, like all the Roman Reigns stuff, made it look like his character is really meant to not be liked.
Yeah,
you know, do they need like, and I get that you want a good heel that can, you know, take some heat and can run with it, but at what point do you go, okay, we need to give it over to like, and obviously Cody is the face in this, in this pair. So at what point do you make that decision to change hands?
Yeah, but like at the same time, Roman Reigns is approaching 1,000 days as champion. So he's been champion for like going on 3 years.
So are we talking like do we know who the record holder is? Is he the record holder?
He might well become it.
Okay. So do we know who it is presently? Is it someone like Hogan?
It might be.
Okay.
It might be.
Okay. So maybe that's the thing. What, either they're running him to just to get that number and then, okay, you're out.
Yeah, possibly.
You know what I mean?
Because like for the first few years when he was with the Shield, it was like, they're not bad. They're good heels. Then they turned him face and it was okay.
Yeah.
But then they started pushing him to singles and nobody was having it.
No.
And like they even made fun of it in one of the promos. They're like, you know, you're supposed to be this top guy, but they've dumped all this money into you promoting and everything in your 11-year career, but you only started paying off in year 8.
Yeah. Yeah. So true. Right.
So
true.
But there was another on the way to the ring, Cody, I guess the family of Brody Lee, who was over. He's been in both companies, AEW and thing.
Okay.
But Brody Jr. was also in the crowd.
Right.
And he handed him his weight belt as like a little sign of respect.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. I mean, look, I was made aware that there's actually 2 straps. There's one for each promotion now, for Raw and for SmackDown.
Yeah.
That they've put so much into this guy that he's got both of them.
Yep.
You know,
but it goes in cycles, right? Like at one point it's a singular champion and then they split the belts again and then they'll sync them back up. But that's been going on for ages.
Oh yeah. Okay. So that's not a new thing then.
No.
Okay. To me, it was a big deal. Like if you've separated the 2 promotions so that they're not the same, that they are supposed to be 2 distinct entities. I just found it like, wow, this guy must be something that they've given them both belts.
Yeah.
But okay. Not a big deal.
You know, he's finally found his footing though. So.
Wow. Okay. So that's our,
that's WrestleMania.
That's our rundown on WrestleMania.
But that's not all for the WWE.
No, what do you? Oh no! Wait, I've heard some stuff. What you got? What do you want to talk about next?
Apparently, it's confirmed.
I saw today. Yeah, I saw that again. It came up.
The merger with the UFC.
Going to go over to the UFC.
And they're going to form a $21.4 billion sports entertainment company.
Man, who's going to benefit more from this arrangement?
I don't know.
It's hard to say.
Apparently, Vince is retaining 49%, while UFC will own 51%.
So he can probably sit on the board.
Yeah, just enough to keep.
But he won't. He won't have well, still. But at least he won't have the rampant power that he has right now.
Well, what's going to happen when all those scandals come down and?
Wait a minute now.
Finally take him out.
Vince Gomez, you mean?
Yeah.
Did we get a picture of him?
I didn't get a picture of him. Sorry.
If you haven't seen Vince McMahon in the media in the last week, do look it up so that you can see how much dye they have applied to his hair, his eyebrows, and his pencil thin mustache. It's literally Gomez.
Trying to make himself look younger, more youthful.
There was a time, and before I knew, this is when the veil was still down, and I had no idea. And I thought, man, that guy's a great commentator. Then I found out who he was, and it was like, oh, the magic is gone.
Oh,
yeah. Another not nice person.
Yeah, there's been some greats though.
In the commentating space?
Yes.
Oh, for sure. Gorilla
and Ventura.
Mean Gene. Oh, yeah. Jesse.
That was a great team. So was Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And you got King and JR.
Yes.
And I'm not going to bring up Michael Cole because I can't stand him. But I couldn't stand him back when they brought him in.
That's fair.
But
that is totally fair.
Yeah, he's still sticking around. So, good on him, I guess.
WWE going over to the UFC at some point. That's going to be an interesting one to watch.
It's like Lesnar's already crossed through both.
That's right. Yeah.
So who else is going to step up? And
can you foresee a time when there's going to be simultaneous in the same venue? We're going to have, a UFC as
the octagon versus the squared circle.
The undercard will be a UFC fight, and then the big event will be will be a wrestling thing, and then flipping and flopping like that.
Maybe.
I don't know. Ticket prices will now double.
Probably.
I don't even know if these are affordable. I don't know if a UFC is an affordable thing to go to.
If you're in Vegas, you gotta go.
Oh, yeah, I suppose so. But isn't there like other like mixed MMA?
Yeah, there's
isn't there like Pride is one of them? Yeah.
Oh.
Suffice to say that
there's
are
enough
other
to fill
ones.
the Fight Network.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
Other news here coming out of March, BeetleJuice 2.
For all of the years that it has been rumored to get a sequel, and it's been all sort of like, hearsay, we finally have something that is
a little bit more
concrete. And official that BeetleJuice 2, Michael Keaton going to come back.
Yeah, as well as Winona Ryder and
sure, but it's the early talk is it's going to focus on Lydia's daughter.
Yeah, and who should be played by Jenna Ortega.
Yeah. Isn't that something? Yeah. Are these official?
These are fan created posters.
Oh, they're fan created,
but they're doing enough to stir up buzz for it.
So wait, of these, which ones are confirmed though? Keaton for sure.
Keaton, Ortega,
and
Winona
Ryder. Johnny Depp has
just got his name thrown in the hat, and I can't see it not happening.
So wait, when they're talking Johnny Depp, in what role?
I don't know.
Just he would be cool in a BeetleJuice movie?
Maybe. Well, he's cool in any Tim Burton movie,
I suppose. I mean, as another Beetlejuice like character,
maybe.
Does Beetlejuice have a foil?
I don't know, but the's an entire afterlife.
You know who's not going to be in it?
Probably
Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't resist. I
know, and which just sucks because Gina Davis can't come back then either.
Yeah, but they moved on. They went on to the after.
Well, they stuck.
Well, I guess they lived in the house. They stayed in the house.
They made Lydia fly and stuff.
They could do that though. They could go back to the house. Now, I'm not saying that they have to recast them, but they could do something like that. Like they've gone on. They've moved on to their afterlife.
Yeah.
There's a Netflix movie that just did this. No, not Netflix. The one with Hellboy, Stranger Things guy, David Harbour.
There you go.
David Harbour. Yeah, We Have a Ghost.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen We Have a Ghost,
and Anthony Mackie.
It's worth watching. That movie doesn't know what it is. It tries to be a few different things all at the same time, but still the idea that somebody's stuck in the middle and then goes on to their after later.
Yeah.
You could do that.
Yeah.
What did Eric say? I have some concerns. I don't know what you mean.
At anything, it's probably going to be better than Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian.
Oh.
Because back in the day, Keaton and Ryder had signed on for it.
Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian.
I guess the premise was that the Dietzes would buy some sort of Hawaiian resort and then go down there, and they would need Beetlejuice's services to come and exercise the living again.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. Can I just be the first, or maybe not the first, to say I'm glad that didn't happen?
You're not the only one. And then coming out of The Rock's Instagram.
Oh, I saw. Okay, so I did
see this.
I saw the video announcement. Watched it last night. Man,
it might be a bit soon for it, but The Rock has announced
that
Moana will be reimagined into live action.
Yep. And he's going to be playing Maui again.
And he's got his magical hook already. So
I have to say, all things aside, the way that they did the ad was nice. That they got his kids involved, and so that was kind of nice and fun and stuff.
Especially at the end where he's like, "Is Daddy Maui?" And they're like, "No." Well, do you want ice cream? Yeah.
At this point, and this is just me. This is my own personal view, but after all of the stuff that The Rock has been embroiled in over at DC, he needs something like this to smooth over his public appearance, because let's face it, as the highest paid actor on the planet,
you should be able to work with anybody.
Let's face it, like, you can't convince me otherwise that he is the one that threw his weight around to try and influence what was happening at Warner and DC.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, I've lost a little bit of respect for him as an actor, and maybe as a person too. I just no, man. Like
I get it, wanting your character to be the hero because he plays a really good hero.
The Rock does.
But Black Adam was
you're
not
right.
a hero.
Anti-hero at best. Anti-hero at best.
He was the opposite of Shazam.
Right. And I've said it before on our show that there is no way that Dwayne Johnson was going to play second fiddle to Zach Levi, to Chuck. But it's not Chuck, it's Shazam. Yeah. And that is the relationship that those characters have.
It's built on in the comic book
Absolutely.
lore, so.
Absolutely. What's Kim saying?
Kim saying
BeetleJuice in Hawaii would be hilarious. Let's be honest. Yeah, BeetleJuice in border shorts and a Hawaiian shirt.
Maybe
he'd look like me on vacation. Oh, that's awesome.
So you got another one. You got one came out today.
Oh, well, I saw it today. I don't know if it came out today, but I was excited when I saw it because, finally. We don't do a lot of toy news, but this one is near to my heart because as I just
screwed up so bad the first time,
as I'm getting ready to renovate my my home yesterday, I packed up my open Black Series figures, and this came out today, which made me really happy. We are finally getting a Book of Boba Fett accurate Black Chrysanthemum. And look at him compared to the
original release,
the comic. You mean the Black Chewbacca?
Yeah. It does not look right at all.
And listen, Hasbro does a lot of questionable things. At the same time, by and large, they still make a pretty good product. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking at this the TV show figure. The proportions look great, and I'm surprised that they did not just do a straight up reuse of the battle harness. That's a new harness.
Yeah.
He looks great.
The new one does.
Yeah. The short version is he looks great, and if you passed on the comic Chrysanthemum,
good choice.
I think you were in the right to wait for this one because this new one, the show one, looks great.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get some new custom Chewies.
Maybe.
Yeah, Black Chrysanthemum, everybody.
Yeah. So there's that.
Oh, what was I gonna say? There was a thing I wanted to bring up and I forgot.
I know what you're gonna bring up.
Okay.
You're gonna bring up the thing about those weird tickets and the horror story.
Tickets. Okay, so tickets. I don't have any vested interest in anybody's politics, really. I mean, if you want to be a political shitbag, that's your business. But recently, on a win tickets before you can buy them contest, my wife won a pair of tickets for us to go and see Eric Clapton.
Nice.
So we are going, as long as everything works out, we're going to Clapton in September. Now, when the tickets went on sale earlier this week, or I guess last week, I went and I looked at the ticket prices. Now, the lowest ticket to get in the door is 125 Canadian dollars. That's not outrageous for a big show in a big arena. Now it is. It's in what's it called now? What used to be the Air Canada Center. I guess that's the Scotia Bank Arena.
I don't know who bought it now.
I think it's the Scotia Bank. I think that's what it is.
Corporately named arena.
There used to be Air Canada Center. $125 a ticket. And I thought that's great. So then I start scrolling to see what's available. If I didn't scroll all the way to the bottom, floor seats, section AA, front row, verified resale ticket, $5,000 a ticket.
No.
Yeah. The number of verified resale tickets on the Ticketmaster website for this outnumbered the actual Ticketmaster tickets. It was just, I don't even know how do you
justify that?
How does anybody go and see a band?
You don't.
Right.
So we're going to have people sitting on these tickets and nothing. You go to the show and be
It
like,
would
oh,
be-
it was supposed to be sold out.
You know, the thing though is I feel, and I mean, I've been to a lot of concerts in my life. Those tickets will sell. Somebody out there will buy them. And if they don't, what people have been doing for years, you know what? When the show starts, just walk forward.
Yeah.
Seen that happen a million times. So who knows? But yeah, $5,000 a ticket for Eric Clapton to be in the front row. No,
Eric
thank
says, were these tickets mastered?
you. Were they mastered? I don't know, but they were definitely. I'm not paying for them, so I don't care. I'm going to go see Eric Clapton. The man's 82 years old, 81 years old.
Yeah, go see him while you can.
I can't imagine that there's going to be any rip-roaring renditions of Layla.
Maybe.
It'd be more probably like the unplugged version. Yeah. As long as he plays Lay Down Sally, I'm happy.
Nice.
I'm happy with that.
Gaz says a Wookiee in Hawaii.
A Wookiee in Hawaii.
That could work.
What's that?
Eric
Eric
says,
has good taste in names, at least. In names. Sally? Lay Down Sally?
Maybe.
Eric? Oh, Eric
Layla.
Clapton. Eric Clapton, yeah. It's Eric with a C. Look up that man's stance on science and just see how you feel after that. You know, that little thing, that little chestnut that we like to call science. Okay, wait, no more politics. No more nothing.
Really? Because Donald Trump turned himself in today.
What? Oh, did he really?
He did.
Yeah, but
Indicted on 34 charges.
that's right. But the indictment came down a while ago.
And
He was,
pleaded
yeah.
not guilty to all of them.
Of course he has. Of course he's pleaded not guilty.
Because he's the Donald.
So there is nothing in United States law that precludes anybody from not only running their campaign but also serving as president from prison.
Interesting.
Yeah, isn't that something? Can you imagine
Another
that?
first.
Yeah.
Way to go, Mark.
And he's the front runner for his party. So, oh boy.
But did we see the Into the Spider-Verse 2 trailer?
I did see the Into the Spider-Verse trailer. Is there one or is there two now?
New one.
Oh, there's two.
Out.
Maybe I haven't seen the newest one.
Yeah, and it's good.
What's happening in that one?
It looks to be like Spidey 2099 will be a sort of a villain.
I got that impression as well, right from the first one. Is that Oscar Isaac?
I don't know for sure.
I thought it sounded like Oscar Isaac when the line that I heard.
It might be, but anyway, in the new trailer, they also poke fun at Tom Holland Spider-Man. They name drop Earth Spider-Man 1999 and his Doctor Strange shenanigans. So,
are they messing with the Earth number again?
I don't know.
19999, isn't that?
Apparently, that's the MCU.
Didn't they call it 616?
616 is the comic book one.
They've called the 616 though in the MCU. They've name dropped it, so you get this like I don't know.
Yeah, it's messy. But
we haven't reviewed anything Marvel in a while.
No.
What's next on the Marvel?
Secret Wars coming soon.
Secret Invasion. That actually looks pretty.
Yeah, Secret Invasion
looks pretty good. I'm quite happy about that. Yeah. If you're just tuning in now, it's Tuesday night Random Fandom. We're just kind of chewing the fat. We ran down the results from WrestleMania this past weekend. We talked a little bit about absurd concert tickets. We get a new Star Wars Black Series Chrysanthemum coming out here. News about BeetleJuice 2. What do you guys think? You guys have any entertainment news you guys want to talk about, or pop culture news that came to your attention since last we met?
Mm-hmm.
Hit us up in the comments and let us know what you guys want to say.
We've got the Mandalorian coming tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So at least we are over our small drops. We have a small room to breathe now that we're not covering two shows simultaneously,
or three,
as was the case last week.
So apparently tomorrow's episode is going to be directed by Bryce Dallas Howard.
Oh, very good.
So no stranger to the franchise.
No, not at all.
I am hopeful for this one.
Do we have a runtime for tomorrow?
44 minutes.
Oh, okay. So knock about 7 of that off for credits and stuff. So 30, 36,
37, somewhere in there.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Do we think that there's going to be any major plot development tomorrow in terms of now that Bo has left to collect other Mandalorians?
Maybe.
I don't think we're going to get much on that. I think we're going to take a break from Bo-Katan while she's doing her thing, and
Grogu can say his first words.
Maybe. I think we're going to
come back, Bo.
We're going to get more on maybe, if we're really lucky, we'll get the drop on Gideon's return.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be interesting.
Eric says
taking this opportunity to recommend the show Ted Lasso on Apple TV. Worth a month's sub for that show alone. Ted Lasso. I've heard of this. I can't tell you what it's about.
Eric?
Ted Lasso. Hey, Eric, give us a rundown. What do you think? Yeah, so Gideon is for absolutely coming back. There's no way that he's not.
They've kept it fairly hush hush so far.
There's been some small leakage there to tell us that he's coming back.
Yeah.
Most wholesome comedy of it. Wholesome. Isn't that something? All right.
In this day and age of raunchy comedy.
Yeah.
Gaz says Ted Lasso is fantastic.
All right, who else out there? And I'm telling you this because you know what? It's my guilty pleasure, so I can't be the only one. Do you guys watch like the trashy TV shows, like the really crappy reality stuff? Like, what's the one we're watching right now? Like Love is Blind and The Circle and like Temptation Island and all those like trashy TV shows. Do you guys watch that stuff?
No.
Am I the only one that just shuts my brain off and goes, these people make me look like $1 million?
Eric says only
Survivor for you. I am also watching Survivor, Eric, but I am watching it on Paramount Plus, so I get it a week later than the broadcast version. So I'm a week behind, but I'm still.
You'll catch up.
I'll be a week behind until the show is over. Yeah.
Only got a couple episodes left of The Flash.
I haven't tuned in. I have not tuned in. I've meant to. I wanted to. I wanted to at least put my. I tried to give it a go. I watched religiously, loyally for the first 2, 3, 4 seasons, and then again when Nora, who's the daughter? Who's the daughter?
Yeah, Nora.
Yeah. So when Nora came back, that's where I kind of I'm starting to lose interest in this. And then Cisco left, and things changed so dramatically that I'm like, I'm out. And I've been out now for what, a couple of seasons
at least.
Yeah.
We're at season 9, so
yeah. So I am wanting to give it a chance. I know that they're trying to wrap the show up in a big way with the return of Oliver Queen. Whether that's happened yet or not, I don't know. But
no, not yet.
Yeah, so I mean, he definitely confirmed that he was coming back on his own social media. So
fair enough.
For that reason alone, I will probably watch the finale and maybe a couple of episodes to yeah. Oh, Eric, if I want to watch the monkeys fight, I will go to the zoo or WrestleMania, brother.
Gaz says, I watch TV to escape reality.
That's me too, Gaz. I like my TV. I want to suspend disbelief. I want to be entertained. And if nothing else, those reality shows,
you have to suspend disbelief that there's not an entire camera crew off camera.
They are, if nothing else, they are entertaining, probably for all the wrong reasons. But yeah, they are entertaining. Payne's Toy Samples. Hey guys, hello.
Howdy. How's
it going with you tonight? God, I love your logo. Established 2022. That's beautiful. Is that supposed to be a record? Because to me, I see like 12-inch or like 45 record there. That looks beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you got anything else?
Not that I'm recalling, but I know there's more. I
hate stalling like this. It's just I was so busy. I literally got home, less than 10 minutes before showtime tonight?
Yeah, roughly.
I didn't do a whole lot of prep for this because I thought, oh, no, we're just going to hang out and chew the fat and just have a nice, relaxing conversation. And it has been.
Yeah.
I just hate feeling unprepared for this stuff.
Yeah, it's random.
Yeah, it is. And it's meant to be that way. Guys, you have anything that you guys want to talk about? As always, hit us up in the live chat. Happy to take those comments and discuss what you guys want to talk about. Our technology has failed us again, as we
it'll work someday.
One day we will be a call-in show once I get that sorted out. But right now we are a call you show. So if you want us to give you a call,
we can do that too.
We can do that too. It's a line background with a circle design for the text. It is simple, it is elegant, and it is quite beautiful. It's definitely doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Nice. I like it. I like it a lot.
What else was there?
Yeah, I don't know. Nothing that really stood out for me this week.
Anybody need a grifter figure?
Grifter, a new one. Is there a new one coming?
There's one for McFarlane, but It's on sale right now on Amazon for I think $16.
Amazon Canada.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's good to know.
It's not bad.
You know, the McFarlane stuff is again, you know how I feel about it.
Yeah.
I don't mind the scale. I don't mind that 7-ish inch scale. I just don't care for the paint jobs on human characters. They just look so bad sometimes. I mean, the only reason, like any of these unmasked Batmans that have come out, like the Pattinson Batman is like, who is that? Like, is that who is that supposed to be?
Batman.
Yeah, well, they just, and the Justice League figures when they came out, I'm like, these just look awful. Wonder Woman was probably the best looking of them.
Well, that's the one they'd spend the most time on.
Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah. Speaking of Wonder Woman, she cameoed. Hope it's not a spoiler at this point.
I think you're out of spoiler.
I think so. It was in the marketing material anyway. So Wonder Woman cameoed in
Shazam.
Fury of the Gods. I have read that she is also going to be cameoing in Aquaman.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I read.
Hmm.
I was at it was 6 at GameStop in the US. I took the hair off and used epoxy sculpt to make a hooded Cobra Commander head.
Nice.
Well done.
Can't go wrong there.
I assume you're talking about the Grifter.
Yes.
To turn him into a Cobra.
Yeah, because he's got the face shield like hood,
like the
draped bandana.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. And it's red.
It is red.
Yeah, that's right.
He's one of the ones that crossed over from the Wildcats.
I was going to say
DCU.
Wildcats. Wildcats. It's on YouTube.
Is it?
It is. Yeah,
Oh.
it's out there. You can watch it. I started to, and I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't have any vested interest in the Wildcats thing. I mean, you know, don't get me wrong. I like Jim Lee's work, but
Yeah,
it's a little like. Did you see the history of Wildcats that Dan Larson did on?
I did not.
Secret. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. And when he got to talking about the show and how disconnected it is from the source, how toned down it is from the source material.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, well, it kind of had to be.
Well,
to be kid friendly.
Yeah, but I mean, look at Spawn when he did the HBO animated special. They didn't tone it down.
No, but I mean, HBO is different though.
It is.
That was not a kid show.
No,
it wasn't marketed as a kid show anyway.
Not at all.
Although I can remember watching a couple of episodes in the original broadcast run going, what is this?
MTV's animation block.
Yeah, I ended up, I did get both, three.
There's
seasons. Three. I bought them on DVD. It's been a long time since I've watched them. I should probably spin them again. Yeah. I'm still gigging on the Flintstones from
you gotta
3 weeks ago, man. I want to bust out my Flintstones DVDs and watch them. I'm really looking forward to that. As much as I think it's going to be weird and stuff, I'll give it a chance. The new one, Bedrock.
Yeah,
I'll give it a chance. I don't have high expectations for it, but yeah, a lot of these revival shows,
as long as they don't foobar the animation, I got hopes for them.
Well, already I have concerns only because nobody does traditional hand-drawn cell animation anymore. It's all, even your supposed to look like hand-drawn is done with a computer, and it just doesn't look the same.
Yeah.
And so I worry that they will do things like it's going to have that super high polished sheen that all modern animation has. It won't have the charm of, like the scrolling backgrounds, how it's like, it's like
going by the same 4 houses,
the same house 3 times. Will it have that kind of charm? Like, I hope so.
Eric says, new King of the Hill in the works. New time skip.
King of the Hill in the works with a time skip. So is Bobby, is he going to be older now?
He should be. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do for Luann because the actress passed away.
Oh, well, recast, I suppose.
Yeah. Paul's.
It's Paul. Hello, Paul. Can't seem to comment on the YouTube's Wizards of the Coast has given a peek of its upcoming virtual tabletop for Dungeons and Dragons. Ooh. It's using the Unreal Engine and it looked pretty sick. Okay, Paul, I need to ask. When you say tabletop, do you mean like virtual tabletop as in like something to compete with Roll20 or something else? Let me know.
Got one coming in from Payne's Toys.
Wildcats comic was the best when Alan Moore wrote it in the 90s. Not seminal work, but pretty good. I like Alan Moore.
Yeah,
I like Alan.
he's
Watchmen.
delivered. Yeah,
Watchmen. Yeah,
he's
I
delivered
like
some
Alan Moore.
amazing content.
In fact, I like maybe this is an unpopular opinion. I actually like the film version of what's going on behind the scenes as opposed to the comic version.
You're more
the Cthulhu monster, the psychic Cthulhu monster.
Yeah, as opposed to an alien invasion.
I actually thought that was much better than the psychic Cthulhu monster.
Fair enough.
Yes, complete with to compete with Roll20. Interesting. And let me follow-up question for you, Paul. Is that going to be a subscription-based service? Will that lure people away from the free? At least the last time I checked, Roll20 was free the last time I used it. You could buy additional assets, but I mean, free is highly motivating.
Zach saying same as her boyfriend in the show, Tom Petty. Yes, he voiced Lucky.
Is this for the King of the Hill thing?
Yeah.
Oh man, he's gone too.
Yeah.
So
maybe they moved away.
Again, though, I mean, there's a joke. There's a joke out there that it's like, oh, here's an impression. If Tom Petty sang Bob Dylan, it would sound an awful lot like Tom Petty, or vice versa. If Bob Dylan sang Tom Petty, it would sound like Bob Dylan. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, Eric says probably an add-on for D&D Beyond. This whole switching to the virtual space, I get it. I have not successfully made the leap. As much as I know that it is the future, man. And I find it a bit anathema to what a role-playing game is, at least as somebody who came up in the paper and pencil with dice. And Eric, you've played in my group, so you know what I mean. That social connection with other players in the same room, chucking dice and laughing and pizza and beers and stuff. It's not the same over the virtual space. And I feel like the hobby is losing something. Oh.
True.
Paul says they didn't say that, but I can't imagine what they showed as being free. Okay, that is fair.
Money got to be made.
And yes, Roll20 is still free. Okay. I once took Roll20, which gives you the ability to import maps. I was actually telling Paul this offline last week. I took one of the scenario maps of a small space from an adventure, and I laid it in, stretched it out, and then using the free assets within Roll20, like grass and trees and logs, I basically went and started coloring this map. It took me I can't tell you how many hours I spent using free assets to turn this encounter map into a full colored rendering, but it was fun. It kept me going for several days.
Well,
only to never.
Contrary to that, Eric says,
if an AI can generate satisfactory maps and interesting encounters, I will be happier as a DM, less like a chore to me. I suppose so. There is some merit in that. Mind you, there's nothing more satisfying than having that perfect trap in the perfect place at the perfect time that you have crafted so craftily as only the most DMs can do, that an AI will never compete with.
Because you're never going to get the satisfaction of waiting for it to trigger and then be like, gotcha.
No, exactly. Yeah. The DM was out to kill me. No, the adventure was out to kill you. I just facilitated it.
And the virtual space, I could see being negative impacting, just because my son's been watching some of these videos where kids are playing Fortnite and whatnot.
Oh yeah, okay.
And without you remember when we were young, you'd be sitting there playing your Super Mario or whatever, and your buddies would be in the room with you. Never would you throw your controller at the TV or pick up the TV and smash it or whatever. But these kids that are on their own in their rooms, isolated, there's nobody around to stop them.
Yep.
And they're just going to town, destroying whatever tech happens to be in front of them.
If the kids were paying for that tech,
I think it would be a whole other story. And
that begs the question, though, is that the case? I mean, if it's the kids' own TV that they've spent their own money on, do you really have much to say? I, as a parent, would still have something to say, because guess what? My walls and my doors don't need the abuse of you throwing your stuff at it. Yeah. So, tone it down there, you.
Yeah, it's just a game.
Yeah. Exactly.
Eric says, "Stupid is as stupid does."
Stupid is as stupid does.
True.
Yeah. What's another one from Paul? Paul, I do worry that shiny items will distract from the role playing element. There is spit and polish, man, makes some stuff looking slick, and then people get kind of caught up in that. Microtransactions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I'm addicted to this game, but I can't win without spending thousands of dollars on it. Yeah.
There's another Fortnite trope: stealing credit cards for money.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, so you can buy Fort Bucks or whatever they are, or V-Bucks, I think.
I'm not a fan of real currency.
No,
I'm not. I'm not a fan of real currency in a digital space for a game. I get it if you want to buy like skin packs or something for your characters or stuff like that. Or
I don't even like the concept of buying a digital game. Like, give me my disc or some sort of physical media.
I argue this back and forth. When you go to the store and you buy physically, when you buy a physical disc, it's right on it. You're not actually buying the game. You're buying a license. You're buying a license. And that being said, in the digital space, you're still purchasing that license. But it's that like, what happens if the license holder goes bloop and they disappear? Yeah, what happens to your license? If you have the physical based media, there's still something to say for you still have the media.
Yeah, you can still play a version of the game.
I suppose.
I played a cell phone game there, and it was one of those ones where you could dump in money and just dump and dump and dump.
Yeah.
But I never did. But I do know people that did do it.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the run, they're like, well, we're shutting it down. Sorry. So you spend however many
investment
years
in time and now financial investment,
and then it's just
to feel that you've had the rug pulled out from under you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so true. You guys should make fandom bucks. Now, what would we redeem them for?
Merch.
Oh, speaking of merch, we have to have a conversation about that.
Okay.
About our looming sponsor.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, that's a big one. We got to have that one offline before we can talk about that publicly. But hey, there's something coming. Can't tell you yet, but we'll figure it out. Also, what do we say? I have to buy digital so that the other consoles can download, and I don't have to buy multiple copies of the same game.
Does that
interesting? Now
because I thought you still had to go buy.
I'm not up to
date.
The
Switch and a copy for the PlayStation.
I'm not up to date on this. So like I own the last generation Xbox, the Xbox One. But if my wife had an Xbox One and I download the game to any game from the marketplace onto my Xbox, can my wife play it on her machine in the next room, like without downloading it again? No, nope, game sharing. Okay, that makes sense. What's Zach saying? Physical collection all the way. Depends what's on the disc. Most games do not need an internet connection, but that is slowly changing. That is true. We just turned, as I said before, we're getting ready to renovate the house. And so we've been doing some work downstairs, turned the Xbox on so we could watch TV. And the first thing it did was update for an hour. And now there's a whole new interface for Xbox. And I'm like, I don't even know how to sign into this thing anymore. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm so out of touch.
PS1 never did that to me.
No, you just hit the button and got that crazy bling.
Yep, and start gaming.
Yeah. It wasn't like that in the days of
no. Even that's frowned on now. You realize you were just rusting your connectors.
Stop blowing on your games and replace your pin connector.
Pin connector. If only we knew.
Oh, that's funny stuff. Man, wow, we looped back to D&D again. That was cool. I enjoyed that. And video games. Also, all right, okay, question. PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X? That's for you guys too. What do you guys? Where are you guys at in the whole Sony versus Microsoft thing? Where are you guys at with that? Because I'm at a point in my life now where I'm debating: do I, at this point, buy a next or this gen console?
Zach says both. Paul says
Xbox all the way. Yeah, okay.
He also says you should get an
Oculus to play Bridge Crew with us. Are you actually playing Bridge Crew? That's a couple years old now.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the demo for that. Now that's set in the Kelvin timeline, I believe, the new Star Trek timeline with like Chris Pine and stuff. Oh,
Yeah,
we
it
got another
says,
one for PS5.
And Eric says,
PC Master Solution. I just don't have. So here's the thing. Of all the games and I don't follow a whole lot of what's going on in video game news because there's just not a lot that appeals to me. But my favorite gaming video game franchise of all time is getting a new release this year in Forza Motorsport.
ooh.
I love that series. Now that's an Xbox exclusive. It has been since day one.
Yeah.
The other game that I want to play because it's like 99% of what we do here on the show is Jedi Survivor.
Yes, that looks
so. I don't know. Is it worth the investment for two games? I mean, I can turn Forza into like a marathon and have many times. You've never lived until you've ran the 24 hours of Le Mans in real time. Not saying that I've done that, but I have done. I've done the Daytona 500 and done 500 laps. Like that's it's ridiculous. Yeah. So what do you do? Yes, but also next generation download. That's the thing. The support for older consoles just
going away. Yeah.
Gone. Yeah.
Sean chiming in here. He's
Xbox fan here. Yeah. You know what, Sean? I converted. I was a PlayStation 2 fan. Mind you, the PlayStation 2 still holds the world record for the best selling video game console of all time.
It's because Redman promoted it.
Well, that. And so when the Xbox came out, I bought it at the end of its life. And I don't even remember what I bought it for. I think I bought it because of the internal hard drive. I was gonna use it as a music media server, which I did. And then 360 came out, and they just killed Sony to market with the 360 versus the PS3. And then I didn't buy a PS3 until the end of its life cycle. And I've been an Xbox guy ever since. Bought my Xbox One. I got the day one edition, which is still running in the next room. Not right now, exactly right now, but it still runs. But now I can't. Those two games that I want to play are not being made for that generation. It is forward only.
Zach says, "Go PC, West.
Go PC. Game Pass. So there's a game. Now something just happened with Game Pass. There was some kind of deal where you could get the Game Pass like super cheap, but apparently they've stopped that now and it's gone up in price or something. I don't know if that's PC or the Xbox Game Pass.
Cheap to get you hooked and then jack up the
price. Maybe.
Eric says,
I miss console gaming, but the Sony Microsoft arms race is too much for me, with most things being on PC as well. I'm staying out of it. Oh, that is a fair that's a fair assessment. I don't blame you for that. But also, Nintendo Switch is one of the best consoles I've ever owned. I always looked at, Nintendo in my estimation has always been for younger, family friendlier.
You'd be surprised.
There are some titles. I probably would be.
Like there's South Park. You can get that on Switch.
Okay. Not that I'm a huge South Park fan, so that's not enough. That's not enough to sway me, though.
Well, the Stick of Truth was good.
I mean, you would never find a Mario title anywhere outside of Nintendo. No. So I mean, if you're a Mario fan, that's your option. Or emulators, I suppose. Oh, Mass Effect, greatest game ever. Shepard. I've played them all. I've played every Mass Effect that ever, and I love them all. I love that was BioWare's. We're not going to make another Star Wars Old Republic game. Fine, we're going to use that engine to make our own game, and it played amazing. Even the newest one, which I know a lot of people didn't like. I liked it. Andromeda was pretty good. Paul says, funny story. My ex-wife and I had gone to see if she was pregnant. If not, I was allowed to buy the PlayStation. The test came up negative, but 9 months later, I had a PlayStation and a daughter. That is the best story tonight.
There you go.
There's a Fandom No Prize for you in the mail. Agreed. Give me my Mass Effect TV series, please. That's cool. Another one from Zach. Zach, it has Doom and Mortal Kombat, so I like the Switch. Now, South Park, Stick of Truth, and Fractured Butthole are hilarious. Okay, good.
I have yet to play the Fractured Butthole.
Fractured Butthole. Oh,
the Fractured Butthole.
I read fractured, butthole.
It's fractured, but it's still whole.
You mean fractured butt, B-U-T-T hole.
It's a play on words.
That's funny.
Yeah, you can get like Friday the 13th, and there's a really fun one called Man Eater. You're just a shark that swims around eating people.
Do you mobile game a little bit? Do you?
The odd one.
See, I've even tried that because there's been some interesting titles. There's been a couple like Star Trek and Star Wars things like that I've tried out. But again, microtransactions. Like if you don't buy into what they're selling, you're never going to advance as far as you potentially could.
Yeah.
And I just I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Don't want to do that.
I found with some of them, if you grind it hard enough, yes, you can get by.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But it takes ridiculous amounts of time.
Yeah.
And I just can't do it anymore.
What's Eric saying there? Eric, and portable plus a lot of older console games. Switch is great for travel.
I will say for the older stuff, because you can get the emulator for the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo.
Oh, really?
The 64, and I'm pretty sure the Game Boy
Now
Advance.
That's all official Nintendo supported stuff.
You download it from the eStore.
You don't have to crack your machine or anything.
No.
Okay.
I think you need the online subscription for it though, to keep it active.
Okay, so when I was overseas serving, a lot of guys at that time were bringing their Sony PSPs. But even those at the time, these were some of the first PSPs, and they were disc based.
Yeah.
So you'd have you get this great little awesome machine, which
and a stack of discs.
Yeah, and a sleeve of discs. Yeah, not a bad machine though. It was fun.
Yep.
So wow, that doesn't really help me, guys. Whether I should buy a new machine or not. What you're saying is I should buy something, but we're separate. We're still kind of divided on what it should be.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I think we got one. We got at least 2 Xbox. We got a
couple for PS.
We got a couple PC.
Yeah.
So we're all kind of split.
And one for Switch.
That's true. One for Switch. You know what the deciding factor is going to be?
What Kim says yes to?
That's right. That's what my wife says. That's what. A year of Nintendo Online, even with the expansion pass for the N64 and the like, is still pretty affordable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this recurrent the streaming model has really made other businesses kind of look back and kind of go, how can we get some of that, endless money? And that seems to be it, man.
Yeah.
We'll let you play our games. You don't even have to. You can just stream it right off the cloud. That's another thing. What was that thing? Google Stadia. That was their big claim, was that if you bought the Stadia, you could game right off their cloud. That whole service just shut down.
I don't even remember it.
Nobody bought into it. Nobody bought into it. Yeah. Paul says, a cool thing that is happening is board games porting over and playing very well. Gloomhaven, for example. Oh, see, now that is the kind of thing that I would do. I totally nerded out when the first Baldur's Gate for PlayStation 2 came out. I played the crap out of that thing. Probably played it about 40 times, especially after you got the code to unlock Driss Durden as a playable character. I just ripped that shit up. Catan on the Nintendo Switch. No thanks.
Actually, on the Switch, was it the Yu-Gi-Oh one that came out? Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist Destiny or something.
Okay, yeah.
But anyway, that is a fantastic adaptation of the card game.
Just throw Paul's comment up there again. With the board game sporting over, Paul, what about now? How does that compare to, say, something like going on Steam, paying, even if you paid full price, which I did, paid full price for the tabletop simulator, and then just go to the fan community and download all of the fan assets, and virtually, I mean, any board game you can think of has pretty much been adapted for free. So I don't know. Like, I mean, is it comparable that way?
Maybe.
Like, I'm a big fan of the I play a lot of, well, I haven't played in a while, but I am still a big fan of a lot of the tabletop miniatures games, like the Star Wars X-Wing, Star Wars Armada, Star Trek Attack Wing. All of those games have been adapted for virtual tabletop, and it's a community mod, so it's completely free. You just got to make sure that you have the latest version. So yeah, I'd be interested to know how those two things compare. Nobody makes a really good Axis and Allies simulator. That's kind of what I want. I love that. I do appreciate virtual board games, though, in the sense that I don't have to pull out thousands of like tokens and components and set the thing up, when I can just kind of go boop, and there it is. Yeah. The tabletop sim still kind of requires you to have an actual board game. The console port is the complete game. Okay, so I think that would, the way I understand it from what I've seen with the tabletop simulator is that they would be similar in that sense. It is a virtual table, so there is a play surface that is on the screen, but it sounds very similar. We got one from Eric. Fandom Power Tabletop Simulator stream.
Do we really need to simulate this yet?
That's not a bad idea. If we did that we could do it as a screen share.
Maybe.
And we could screen share whatever game we're playing.
True.
I don't know how entertaining that would be. It might be something that we could do. Now, that's a good idea. We could do that as a Patreon thing. We could have some Fandom Power board game tournaments.
There you go.
That could be fun. Wes as a fighter wizard. That's right. Be the hairiest fighter wizard you ever seen.
Now, do you follow Jason Mewes on
Jay Mewes? I do not.
No? If you don't, you should go check it out. He posted something today, and it is hilarious.
Do we not? Maybe we should follow him on our.
If we're not, we should. Yes. Somebody deep faked Arnold Schwarzenegger's face and voice into the scene from Clerks 2.
Okay.
Where they're selling drugs to Ethan Suplee.
All right.
And going on about the Bible. It is hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Where are we at here? We're an hour and Snooty Boochies.
Snoochie Boochies.
Snoochie Boochies. Is that right?
Snoochie Boochies.
What did I just say?
Snooty Booties.
Snooty Booties? Apparently, I don't know how to read.
Yeah.
That's okay. I hardly know how to write either. Well, we're coming up here on the hour and a half. We have definitely filled our time tonight with much thanks to everybody who was tuned in to hang out with us tonight and just kind of shoot the breeze about nothing in particular. Yeah. Glad we were able to sit here and at least be, entertaining for at least a couple of you.
And at least the sound got turned back on.
There's a little control here. There's a little microphone symbol there that apparently got turned off, and I don't even know how.
Details.
Just turn that thing back on. It's all good.
Yep.
Thanks to Gaz who pointed out that we had no sound and got us all sorted out. Nice to have technical tech support in the background watching with you.
Makes it easier.
Don't forget, this week we are back Sunday night. Just one time on Sunday. Now that the Bad Batch is over, have you seen the finale of Star Wars: The Bad Batch? Did you see what had happened? What do you think about it? And do you want to talk about it? Hit us up in the comments on this video, whether you catch us in the replay. You can always email us at fandompower3@gmail.com with your thoughts and suggestions, because we want to hear from you guys. Next week we'll be back. I think we have something lined up for next week, if I was following the email traffic correctly.
I'm hoping so.
Potential special guests
Possibly.
next week, which means we have to move our other potential guest to another week.
Or
or we can't have everybody on at the same time. I guess we could have as many people. It's our show. We can do whatever we want.
It can be random.
Yeah. What's my wife saying something there?
Yeah, she's saying great show as you.
Oh, thank you. Aww. Thank you, baby. All right, guys. Thank you for everybody who hung out with us tonight. It was great to have you along. Do come back and see us on Sunday night when we're back for chapter 22 of The Mandalorian. Not sure what that one's called
Unnamed
yet.
As of yet.
Unnamed as of yet. Yeah. Will we get another Star Wars Rebels cameo? Holy cow.
Maybe.
Maybe not. But
depends how many episodes are left. They have to drop them fast and furious.
Yeah, really. 3 left. 3 left this week, and then 2 more, I believe, of which I've realized that I am not going to be around for, because I have a vacation that's been planned for months in advance that just happened to coincide with it. So yeah. And I'm in a place where there's not going to be any Wi-Fi, so I can't even do any on-location thoughts that I can't even phone it in like I've had the last 2. Oh, Sunday is Easter. Well, isn't that something? That's a good point. Ray says Sunday is Easter. So
are we not moving it to Saturday?
Good reminder. Oh, I guess we are.
Yeah.
Forget what I said. Come see us on Saturday.
Yeah.
Same time, 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
6 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. We'll be back with The Mandalorian, Chapter 21.
22.
22. I'm going to stop talking now.
That's all.
I need to go get something to eat.
There you go.
Refuel my brain. Once again, thank you so
you.
much, everybody. By the way, we're just a few subscriptions shy of that 500. At 500 subscriptions on YouTube, we can open up the community tab where we can engage with you guys that way as well. So text-based posts and polls and all that kind of fun stuff. So please check us out on all of let me see, all of these places over here. Do all of the YouTube stuff if you're so inclined. We love hearing from you guys. If only one of you turns up to watch, then it is absolutely worth it. So happy to have you along.
And if you know a fan, go get them some merch.
Yeah, really. We're
excellent customer service there.
I did mention that last week. We have some amazing customer service over at TeePublic. They no fault of their own because it's all third-party fulfillment.
And there is a sale coming up. So
yeah, April there's a sale coming on. If you're in Canada, the shipping from TeePublic, it can be a little steep. So these are the times you wait for these sales, and they come up all the time. That's a good time to get in on the merch. Through no fault of their own, they not misprinted my order, but the quality wasn't quite there. And they're replacing 4 shirts free of charge, no questions asked. And by the way, keep the old shirts and do whatever you want with them. We'll just send you new ones.
That's right.
So you can't beat that.
No.
All right.
From coast to coast.
We're the most?
Yeah, maybe.
All right.
From the UK to Boston, we're all over the place.
That's right. We are. We're everywhere. Okay, guys. Thank you once again. I'm going to shut up now, and I'm going to go get something to eat and probably close my eyes and try to forget about this day. All right. Do come back and see us Sunday. Come back and see us next week. We're going to have at least one special guest, maybe more. Yeah. So until next time, for Fandom Power, everybody, my name is Wes.
I'm Andy.
And we'll see you on the next one, guys. Bye for now.